and how the referees actually made the right call on the controversial Broncos-Bills interception involving Brandon Cooks and I believe Jaquan McMillan. Yeah. I initially, when I was watching the game, I was like, hey, man, that's a catch. Brandon Cooks caught the ball. That's a catch. That he fell to the ground. He had the ball. He rolls on his back. The DB rips it from him. But the more I looked and looked and looked, and the more I read the rules and about surviving the catch, because here's something I think we would all be in agreement with. And I believe it was J.J. Watt that tweeted this out. But I think it's something we would all be in agreement with. If he had hit the ground, and I'm talking about Brandon Cooks, had hit the ground in possession of the ball on his back, and then as he rolled, Jaquan McMillan pulled the ball out and it fell to the ground and rolled on the turf, there would be no controversy that, hey, that's an incompletion. Everybody would have said, hey, man, he didn't survive the fall. That's an incompletion. And so if that is true, and I believe that is 1,000% true, then that's an interception because the ball came loose. It never hit the ground. Jaquan McMillan just took it from him, and the referees actually made the right call. And so I get all the complaints, and I get why it's controversial. But if you sit and think about it, that was the right call by the referees. What was the wrong call by the referees was not stopping the game, going to the sidelines, getting under the hood, and viewing this and everybody getting on the same page, and then the ref calling it incomplete. This is where I completely agree with Sean McDermott and his point. Let's play SOT number 4.
It's hard for me to, and I've had a chance to look at, it's hard for me to understand why it was ruled the way it was ruled. And if it is ruled that way, then why wasn't it slowed down? Just to make sure that we have this right. That would have made a lot of sense to me, to make sure that we have this thing right, because that's a pivotal play in the game. We have the ball at the 20, maybe kicking a game-winning field goal right there. So I'll just leave it at that. Right. But I'm saying it because I'm standing up for Buffalo, damn it. I'm standing up for us. Because what went on is not how it should go down, in my estimation. That play, these guys spent 3 hours out there playing football, pouring their guts out, to not even
L3 is wrong.
Say, hey, let's just slow this thing down. That's why I'm bothered.
Anyway, the referees made the right call here. And what Sean McDermott is saying is wrong. He's not standing up for Buffalo. Sean McDermott is standing up for Sean McDermott. Here's what Sean McDermott was saying. Hey, man, this call you just made has cost me my job. And I'm good with that. It is what it is. You don't keep these jobs forever. But damn it, when you're making decisions that can cost a man his job, hey, let's take some time with it. Let's slow it down. We done poured a lot into this season. I've poured a lot into my career. These 53 players have poured everything into this, and we get a rush decision on this incompletion. What are we doing here? And let's take down the Caleb is heard over the shoulder as well. But what are we doing here? If everything's on the line for us, and this can cost me my job and cost me my career, why can't we slow things down? We should. It should have been slowed down. And I read something interesting right before the show that what probably made them speed up, and when I first read it, I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then when I thought about it, I was like, oh, no, it's not. We're already 20, it's going overtime, and we're already 20 minutes behind schedule on the Seahawks game with the 49ers. Let's rush through this. Let's not spend, because if he goes under the hood, that's going to add an additional 5 minutes probably for him to look at it. And they're actually making a decision based on, hey, man, we've already delayed the 49ers Seahawks game. Let's just rush through this. And Sean McDermott's going to have to deal with our explanation after the game. We're not going to go look at this. We're going to keep it moving. All right, so the referees made the right call. Now I want to move on to Josh Allen and why we should blame Josh Allen for the Bills' loss, not the officiating. The officiating did not cost the Buffalo Bills that game. And I admit, I know many of you in Buffalo are sitting there right now going, hey, man, it wasn't just the INT. It was the pass interference calls late that moved the Broncos down the field. And first of all, I have no problem with the PIs. But more than anything, my problem is with Josh Allen. And I like Josh Allen. And I was rooting for Josh Allen. But Josh Allen played one of the worst games I have ever seen from a franchise quarterback in a high-stakes playoff game that they easily could have won. If you remove Josh Allen's unforced errors and mistakes, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, the fumble right before halftime, that is a mountain of hot garbage from the reigning MVP that the Buffalo Bills just couldn't survive. And so I get why Josh Allen was crying in the post-game press conference. Because Josh Allen, unlike the people, the Bills Mafia that went to social media to cape up for him, Josh Allen's like, nah, man, I blew this game. I let my teammates down. And this hurts. And I went through a season where I was very clean with the football. Didn't have a bunch of turnovers. And I come out here today against the Broncos, and right before halftime, I make one of the biggest mental blunders in the history of sports. We got 16 seconds left, and I'm trying to scramble around from around my own 20-yard line, and I fumble the ball and hand the Broncos 3 points right before halftime. Yeah, Josh Allen is blaming himself. That's why he was crying in the postgame. All of you on social media that are crying because some of us who like and were rooting for Josh Allen are going to keep it 100% real about Josh Allen. He blew the game. He choked. That was a horrible performance that hopefully will motivate him the entire offseason. He'll get a new coach, and he'll get a chance to recover. But shielding him from blame and focusing all this attention on the officials, if you had told any Bills fan before the game, hey, Josh Allen's going to have 4 turnovers, Bills fans were like, well, we're losing the game. Josh Allen had 4 turnovers, and they lost the game.